since the last time that we filmed and we saw you, we've seen a F-ton of movies.
I wouldn't say an F-ton, but we've seen a number of movies.
Since Brotherhood of the Wolf, we've seen a lot.
Yeah, we've seen. I don't know. I think we've seen a fair amount of movies.
Mayday, mayday, we're going down.
We've been busy, so we haven't watched as many movies as we usually do.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks. But
we'll get back to it. We'll get to watching more again.
We got the pleasure. The absolute pleasure. We got the pleasure of watching Renfield.
Oh.
I fucking loved Renfield.
Oh, I did not know you were going there.
Renfield was great.
It was fucking awesome.
It was excellent. Altogether,
was
awesome.
Like, that movie was just so phenomenal.
Yeah, Renfield was delicious. I remember you sat down, you watched it, like, again immediately the next day.
I did. I watched it a second time in a row, and honestly, I love it. I love that movie. It's my go-to movie.
Nicolas Cage played a much better Dracula than I had expected. He was fucking great.
Nicholas Hoult is like... Yeah, he's Nicholas a gem. Hoult. He has done a lot of good films.
He was funny. He got me to care about him so much.
I know.
I loved Nicholas Hoult. He was in Mad Max, which I did
a video on. God.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I love Nicholas Hoult so much.
Nicholas Hoult played...
Because he played in Fury Road, didn't he?
Yes, he did play in Fury Road. He played Nux in Fury Road.
Absolutely.
Yes.
He did Warm Bodies, which I still have to show that movie. That movie touches my soul and in my heart.
Renfield was fucking excellent. We're probably going to talk about that one
in more detail. Oh my god, love to.
All right, the next one that we tried is your Blood Rage. Do you remember Blood Rage?
I do. Definitely not Blood Hook.
Yeah, no.
Don't recommend Blood Hook.
Blood Hook sucked. Blood Rage
was awesome. In a bad way. It was a good movie.
I mean, I enjoyed it enough. You know, it's not one of those kinds of movies that, you know, I would sit down and get all introspective with or shit, but it was alright.
Yeah, I agree.
It's fun to watch with other people.
I have other films that I like more.
It's nowhere near the top of my list, but it is fun to do with someone else and just work it apart.
I like it. I like it quite a bit. I loved Chopping Mall so much. OMG.
There was one moment of decent gore, of course. You know, the lady's head blowing up. He was awesome in a not cheesy awesome way, slasher way. It had Hold on. It had a little fucking cameo from who the hell was that at the beginning? Yeah, Paul Bartel and fucking somebody else. I cannot think of who that is in there. But I was happy to see them at the beginning of that movie. That shit was pretty funny. Chopping Mall was... it was alright. It was a decent enough waste of my time.
I thought it was hilarious.
Well, for me, it was very much like Blood Rage, where it's just... If you're gonna be able to sit there with a couple of your friends or with, you know, like your family and just be able to rip apart a movie... and enjoy how bad something is. That's exactly how I would go with it.
I like Chopping Mall a lot.
We did something a bit different. Still horror enough, I guess. Mm-hmm. More action though than horror. We had The Rock. We have fucking Carl Urban. What is it? What was it, baby? What was it? It was Doom.
It was Doom.
We watched Doom, and it was not great, but I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It was so
I liked it because it had Carl Urban in it, and he's my dude. I like Carl Urban, like, a lot.
Oh, yeah, no, Carl Urban is just always great.
Man, Dwayne Johnson just did not pull it off for me.
Watching it in the modern day, in 2024, watching it is kind of fun. I so just expect The Rock to be the good guy. He's going to definitively... be the guy that's gonna save the day. And it was kind of nice to watch Doom and see him turn into the bad guy. And that's why I can remember Doom at all, is because because of the meta. When The Rock plays these days, he plays The Rock. And that's it, yeah. We also got to watch Existenz. I liked Existenz. You didn't care for it, did you?
No, and I'm probably gonna break a lot more hearts. I don't really like David Cronenberg. Out of Videodrome and Existenz, I think I like Existenz slightly more.
Really?
but it also has Jude Law.
No, it didn't have Jude Law.
Yes, it does.
No, it does. I'm sorry. I was thinking of fucking... Goddamn, the Green Goblin. He was in The Lighthouse.
Willem Dafoe?
Yes, Willem Dafoe is in it as well. I like Existenz. I like anything David Carpenter.
David Cronenberg.
Yeah. I enjoy just about anything David Cronenberg is not afraid to put what the fuck he wants to on the screen. And he does it in an unabashed way that I can still enjoy. I don't know, some directors are very unabashed, but he's able to just do it in a way that I like.
Fair enough. I don't know, for me, I feel like he focuses a little too much on sex. But I'm also a very prudish girl. Watching it, especially with other people in the room, makes me very uncomfortable. Both Videodrome and Existenz are kind of like, I'm just sitting there going, okay, when is this going to be done? Because this is making me squirmish. If I'm looking at uniqueness, I would go for David Cronenberg in a heartbeat. I like him for that, but as an overall movie and as an overall storyline for a movie, it's not my favorite. Dude, I fucking love Motel Hell. That movie is so freaking good.
Farmer Vincent was a very unique character. You don't see 80s slasher movies, that are like lowball cheese like this.
Oh my god.
With characters that are actually fairly well-rounded, like Farmer Vincent is. He's an interesting character. He's fun to watch.
He wants the best for his community.
He's why I'm gonna go back and watch that movie. The chainsaw battle at the end was pretty fun. I liked the big old pig head. Oh, Baseketball.
There you go.
That's right, we watched Baseketball.
We rewatched Baseketball. We've seen it before.
I've seen Baseketball probably actually close to 100 times. Throughout my life. It was one of the first movies I remember watching when I was a kid. I watched it countless times before I was like 8 or 9. I thought it was the funniest fucking thing in the entire world. Squeak Scolari, I love Squeak Scolari. He's one of my favorite characters ever. It still holds up for me for the most part. Yeah.
Love Baseketball. I love that whole movie. I agree with you. Squeak is my number one favorite character in that whole movie. It's hilarious. The lines in that movie are cheesy, clever. I love slapstick comedy. That is like my favorite ever kind of comedy. I usually go for visuals, and I really, really like it for that. And also it does have very clever lines, very like big insult lines. If you take anything out of watching Baseketball, it's the insults, man. They have very clever insults, and it's just like, man, if I said that to someone in real life...
There's definitely some parts of that movie that don't hold up super well. They did not age very well, but for the most part, oddly enough, for being fucking Trey Parker and Matt Stone, for the vast majority of the movie just riffing, it ages pretty well compared to when it came out versus today. Yeah. It's interesting. And I don't even give a fuck about sports, but one of my favorite movies, Baseketball, is a sports movie. It's just kind of funny. All right, what else did we watch recently?
Major League. Since we're going on sports.
That's right, because we were like, hey, yeah, fuck it. Why not? Let's do this because we got the other funny sports movie that I got. It's not bad. It's really not bad.
I don't personally think of it as a comedy. I think of it mostly as a sports romantic flick with a hint of comedy. It wasn't very, like, ha 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 ha, like rolling on your back, like funny. It wasn't like that. It was like, that was cute. That was cheesy. That was
shit
quirky.
Wasn't no Baseketball when it comes to the humor. Like, I mean, a number of times I thought it was I chuckled. I chuckled pretty good. Overall, though, like, it was okay. It was worth watching.
It was alright. I don't think I'd pick that one up frequently.
If I was stuck on a 2-hour plane ride and that was the movie they were showing, I mean, I wouldn't be complaining. It's like, okay, Major League's on. Alright.
Stage Fright.
Oh, the fucking... Yeah, Stage Fright was pretty alright. It was cheesy, 80s horror, slasher,
I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite.
It was okay. Overall,
kind of the middle of the road.
Yeah, I mean, I'd give it like a C+ or a B- overall. It was all right. None of the kills were particularly impressive. I remember there were some pretty stupid choices some of the characters made, but I do enjoy sitting there and going like, why the fuck would you do that? That is such a stupid choice for you to make. And then the last movie that we watched recently, and we watched this one last night, The Funhouse. Yeah, it's about how I felt too. Yeah, fucking. I mean, what a
really
disappointing...
didn't like The Funhouse. I was really looking forward to it, and I was begging my husband and my father-in-law to watch it with me. I'm like, please, we gotta watch this. I really want to see this. This looks so good. And then we watched it.
Yeah, it really was not that great. The father character, I liked him. He was okay. He looked like he was having some fun. The rest of the characters, though, looked like, the rest of the actors did not look like they wanted to be there. No. The script really could have used another pass. The pacing on it was just atrocious.
Yeah, nothing happened until, more than halfway through the film.
Yeah, and then even halfway through, it was just like, I don't care. None of this shit matters. There was several scenes that didn't really seem to amount to anything.
The decision-makings, I guess, for the characters were horrible. It's like, why are you still standing there? And usually I'm like that with a lot of 80s films or even a lot of horror movies. It's just like, why are you just standing there? Why aren't you running? Why are you just not doing anything? You could do this or you could do that. I do that a lot with movies, but in this one, it bothered me. It just hit hard. I want to see Reanimator.
Okay, alright, that's pretty cool. Jeffrey Combs.
We met Jeffrey Combs. He's freaking, he's a freaking cool dude.
Jeffrey Combs was fucking fun. I was very touched to be able to speak with Jeffrey Combs. Even though he probably doesn't remember me in the slightest. That's okay, because I remember Jeffrey Combs. I would like to watch Tetsuo the Iron Man pretty soon. We found that, and I would love to give it a go. I've heard that it was fucking weird. I've seen a couple of clips on YouTube, and it looks like it's sufficiently weird. So I'm always down for a good weird movie.
I want to see The Grey.
Some good old Liam Neeson.
I like Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Now, I remember watching that several years ago. I don't know, maybe a decade ago or something at this point. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, even when it came out. I thought it was pretty alright. Was far from the best thing, but still fairly solid from what I remember. I'm curious to see if my opinion will stay the same, because there's definitely been times when my opinion has changed. I would love to watch Severance again. It's been a while since I've seen Severance. I don't think I've ever shown you Severance.
No, I don't. It doesn't sound familiar.
I enjoyed that. It was quirky, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. All right. Well, there is only one other thing that we have to do at this point, and surprise, we're gonna sell this shit. I write books. My most recent book that I put out was The Circus, an American Fantasy. It's about 100,000 words, and it's pretty fucking terrifying. If you like circuses and creepy clowns, then yeah, you might want to give this book a go. Aside from The Circus, I've also got Portraits and Bloodlines. This is a collection of my short fiction, plus my father's short fiction as well. Half of it's mine, half of it's his. That is 23 short stories, mostly horror, but some fantasy, some slipstream. Read some books, man, because, reading books is excellent. Babe, what book are you reading right now?
I'm reading Fairy Tale by Stephen King. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if we happen to see you in the Phoenix area and you go to one of the conventions, hopefully we'll see you there.
We're going to be at the Renaissance Phoenix Glendale Hotel on, July 12th through 14th, 2024. And you can come and you can buy books from me in person.
Yep, this is going to be at Mad Monster.
We're going to be at the Mad Monster party in Arizona, Phoenix, Glendale, Arizona, technically, but still. Come do the Mad Monster with us.
I guess that's it.
All right, that's it. That's we're done. We're done now. Whew.
Peace.
Bye.
Mayday, mayday, we're going down.
Anyway, sorry. Stage fright.
I mean, it was, 80s cheat horror, 80s, excuse me.
This was before we started dating. And the first thing that he does is, hey, I want to show you this video.
Yeah, I did.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like really interested. And he's being really quiet. But like more so like quiet. Like, I know something that they don't know. This is going to be gross. And I'm sitting here going, oh, what do you have to show me? Like, I'm all like, oh, I'm down. Like, he's really cute. Like, he's going to show me something cool,
Well, this was before you ever got into watching horror movies or
this
anything like that.
Funny person over here decides, oh, I'm just going to show her the first scene out of Ghost Ship. And it's when everybody gets chopped in half on the ship. And it's like, I'm sitting here and I'm trying not to be sick because it's so gross. And I'm trying to act cool in front of him because, he's hot. And I'm like, well, I don't want him to see me like go, because this is nasty. So I'm like trying to hold my cool, but I'm like quivering because it's like, okay, this is really gross. Yeah. Go shit, everyone. And then years later we watched it actually like through like the whole movie from.
And then you got to enjoy it.
And then I got to enjoy it because I got to sit there with my husband that years before that showed me a clip of it, which is just really funny.
You just enjoy it. You knew from the beginning you'd enjoy it, right?
Sure.
Yeah. All right, so...
Anyway, we're going to get back on topic.
Yeah, speaking of things that grossed you out,